Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing the AC compressor on this. My wife's 2009 Kia Sedona. Um, the process should be the same on anything from, I think it's '06 to 2014. The Kia Sedona, the Hyundai Entourage, and I guess the Kia Carnival. That's what they're called now. Let's get started. Okay, so on this one, the only thing that seems to have failed is like the clutch or some bearings or something in there. There's a bunch of black stuff down there that's coming out of the end of the compressor. So we're just going to go ahead and change the whole thing since I can't seem to find a kit just to replace the clutch and bearing. First thing I need to do is remove the serpentine belt. I suggest taking a picture of it while it's on there. That way there's no question when you go to put it back on. Get the belt off. First thing we got to do is, you can see it down here, the tensioner pulley right here has a little black cover over the bolt or nut or whatever that is underneath it, and we got to get a breaker bar on that so we can relieve pressure off the belt and get it off. Tensioner on this one is a Torx T50. Just gotta get it in there and push. Oh no, that didn't work. That's just loosening the bolt. I don't know what's bueno. Hang on. Tighten it. Go way over torque on it. I was worried that would happen. Let's try this again. Alright. So we're gonna put it on there and push it that way, like we're gonna loosen it off. But it's supposed to just rotate that tensioner enough to get tension off, and we can slip the belt off of everything. No leverage in here. Goodness. Nope, it's not working. Dang it. Okay. So first, make sure the bolt holding your tensioner on is nice and tight. That way, when you go to turn it this way to relieve pressure, it actually moves the whole tensioner and not just the bolt holding it on. Alright, so everything else has a lip on it except for the pulley right above the tensioner and the tensioner itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a little bit of a turn, just enough to move it, and then just slide it off with one of these smooth pulleys. Alright, it's off, and then let the tensioner down and lose your socket. Cool. So I'm just going to fish the belt out, and then we'll go underneath and start working on the compressor. Okay, now that the belt's off, down underneath the car, van, whatever, this black plastic piece here needs to come out. It looks like it's just got 3 bolts here. Not sure what size they are. I don't know, maybe 10 millimeter. And then a lot of these little Phillips rivet plastic screw things. Maybe I'll show you how to get those off in a minute. But the whole thing is in the way. Gotta get it off because our compressor is right through here. So, yeah. Let's take it off. Alright, so the 3 bolts are indeed 10 millimeters. Go ahead and get them loose. Alright, so these little plastic Phillips head deals, you just put a screwdriver in there and hold the, I guess, what looks like a washer, the base of it. Hold that still while you spin this out, and the whole thing comes out. The way that works is this part here slides into the hole and it's all closed, and then when you screw this down or push it down, it spreads those apart and stays and holds that up. Let me get the rest of those out and then this off, and we can start taking the compressor off. Alright, now that we got that off, compressor's right here. And there are 4 bolts that hold the compressor to the engine. 2 here and 2 just like them on the top. And then there is, of course, the AC lines. You can see it right there. This guy here and this other one, the 2 of the yellow tags on them. And then they have studs coming out of the compressor and just nuts holding them on. So I've got to get those off. I want to do the lines first. That way when I take the compressor off and it drops, I'm not pulling on those AC lines. Okay. So it's going to be kind of hard to film this, but everything on the compressor is a 12 millimeter, but I've got to get that nut off, and then the nut that holds the other, I guess, high pressure line. The big one is your low pressure, the little ones are high pressure. We get those nuts off and get those disconnected, and then we'll undo the 4 bolts on the compressor and drop it. Let's see. Get this on. Go. One thing you do want to be careful about is if there's any freon or pressure left in the system, whenever you break these guys loose, you may get a mouthful of freon, and that no es bueno. I'm going to do the low pressure side first. Hopefully that'll help bleed off any pressure that's on the high side. Mine is should already be drained to freon because of the failure, but yours may differ. Yeah, you hear that? That scared me, like, a lot. You get the AC hose out of the way, the low pressure hose out of the way, and you can actually see the one for high pressure. So low pressure line's there with the green deal on it, and the stud where the nut was holding the low pressure on. And back there, you can barely see it on camera. There we are. Yeah, get some better light on it. Where's the light? There's the light. See that blue Loctite on the stud? That nut needs to come off too, and then the high pressure line will come off and get out of the way. Why won't you go? Goodness. Did you just get out? Get that hose out of the way. Both of them are off. Yay. Really? We're gonna hit the frame. Alright, well, they're not going into the block anymore. Apparently we can't get them all the way out. But they're not screwed to the block anymore, so that means it'll come out. Guess that's a good thing. Ah, see, that one came out. Nice. Can't see nothing. I could get my hand in there. Goodness. Well, you still got one bolt holding the compressor on. You're going to want to go ahead and unplug that connector there. That's what tells the clutch to come on and off when you're on the AC. But definitely get that out before you take the last bolt out of the compressor, because when it comes down, it'll yank the connector right off the end of the wire. That was easy. I accidentally screwed this one back in with my wrist. There it goes. Yep. 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 Oh, there it is. Whew. Yay. There's your problem right there. Okay, so I thought I'd have to move the studs from this one over to this one, but they were brand new studs in the package, as well as O-rings and washers and whatnot. So make sure we use all that. The new one has the ground wire, but this little bracket here that holds the connector is not on the new one, so we're going to go ahead and move that bracket over to here and get the new studs installed. The new ground screws 8mm. We're going to just reuse the Phillips head. That's easier. Hell yeah. The Phillips screw's a little longer, so it'll fit better with that bracket anyways. If your new one doesn't come with new studs, you need to pull off the old studs, and that's going to be the, I think what they call it, like a E-Torx or something like that. The inverted Torx sockets, so you can pull those studs out. But the new ones, these little hex steels. There's caps on here to keep, I guess, the oil and stuff from spilling out. So we're gonna pull those off. I think I might leave these little rubber stoppers in like that, just so nothing spills out when I'm trying to finagle it back into the truck. Make sure you put them in the same hole as on the other one. That'd be embarrassing. Click. Click. Alright, well, everything's set up on the new one. It's time to go put it in the back in the van. God, I don't want to do that. It's hot. It's really hot. It was 103 when I started this. Okay, so before we go putting the new one in, I want to double check our lines here, our hoses, make sure we don't have any nasty going on. And clean that off. This one too, kind of hard to show, but we'll make sure we get everything off of it and everything out of the hoses, because we don't want to introduce any sort of dirt or debris into the AC system. And then we can replace those O-rings with the new ones that it came with and get the thing installed. Alright, so remember the one closest to me on the bottom? Couldn't get the bolt out with the compressor in there, so we're going to go ahead and slide that one back in. And the bolt holes, they have these little nipples that they slide over. There's one on the side over here. Let me show you. See the bolt hole sticks out a little bit. That's really nice. I guess that'll help locate the holes whenever the compressor's going in. Yeah. Yeah. Get in the hole! What is wrong with you? Go there. Yeah. Hey. Oh, here we go. Slid over that little nipple sticking up there. Let's get the bolt in finger tight. And then we can get all the rest of them in. Try to get them all the way down finger tight, because it's kind of a pain to get tools in up here on the top. And I would love it if they were all just all the way in and just need to be snugged up. Okay, while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna plug the cord in, because yeah, well, that'd be a bad time if I forgot it. Snap, it's plugged in. Click, 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 click. Now, those little rubber plugs that I left for safety reasons, go ahead and pull those out. Get that guy. Get the high pressure line slipped over its stud. And seated. And get the nut. And click. Hell yeah. I'm gonna get the low pressure over its stud. Click. Hell yeah. Hope it doesn't leak. Well, that was a giant pain in the ass. I mean, that was super easy. Alright, I'm gonna put the belt back on. Okay, so I've got my belt routed back the way it was, and I've got, let's see, this little loop here ready to go over the tensioner. Got it in place, so now I just need to get my breaker bar, pull that tensioner back, so then I can slip the belt over it and I'll be done. Oh, hey everybody, good of you to join me. Check that shit out. So that's where the pulley was, just below it. Oh, hey, look, let me see that light. Alright, so pulley was right here, and that's where the tensioner shit pivots. This guy, I bet I can put a socket on that and pivot it, and then I don't have to worry about stripping out that Torx. So yeah, give me a minute, I'll be back. Is it a 19? Yeah, hell yeah, it's 19. That's what's up. Hey, how you hogan, neighbor? Maybe I'll just do it with ratchet though. Yeah. Push that bitch all the way over. Hey. Hey. Ta-da! One more time, go around, make sure that it's sitting where it's supposed to on all of the pulleys. All of the teeth line up. Make sure your thing falls off. You know, part of me kind of misses the days when we had multiple belts. One that ran the alternator, one for the AC compressor. Yeah, I think my 85 Regal had 3. So there was, around the harmonic balancer, we had a water pump / fan, AC compressor, and alternator. So nice. This serpentine shit, golly. It's super easy. Like, I don't know why everybody doesn't just do this stuff. Okay, you watch and make sure it doesn't throw the belt off when I go start it. Feel good. Sweet. All right, it is the next day. The only thing I have left to do to this thing is go get it recharged, so I'm going to go do that now. So thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something. I know I learned a lot. I don't want to do that again. See you next time.